getting your feelings. Don't know where we're going, but let's go. All the way tonight.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, and welcome to a new episode of Toni Approved. This is going to be a very special episode because we have returning guest Deidra Hills here to talk about her new EP, Summer Daze. Deidra, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Toni?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I want to say thank you so much for stopping by Toni Approved to talk about your EP. And I know that I've known you forever and you're one of my best friends. And we actually went to middle school together. But all of that aside, I really, truly love your EP. It sounds really great. I can definitely hear that you are very influenced by a lot of the greats, that you put a lot of time and effort into your music, from your arrangements to your lyrics. All of it sounds really great. And I just want to let you know that off the bat. Okay, so before we get started, I want to give you an opportunity to tell the audience a little bit about yourself so we can find out what's going on with you.
Okay. Well, again, my name is Deidra Hills. I'm an up-and-coming artist from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm 26 years old. I started singing around the age of 2 or 3, and I then joined a youth choir when I was 8 called the Rich Voices. I'm still here in Jacksonville under the direction of Deborah J. McDuffie.
Shout out to Miss McDuffie.
Yeah, shout out to Miss McDuffie. And it just went from there. She took me in under her wing and she taught me how to just train my voice. She taught me stage presence. We sung with Barry Manilow, Peebo Bryson. We did commercials. We've been to New York. So she just opened my eyes to the whole music side of the industry, and it just went from there. I've been singing ever since.
And that's really cool. If you guys are in the Jacksonville area, make sure you check out the Ritz Voices. It is at the Ritz Museum downtown. Yes. Very incredible vocalist. Now, let's talk about Summer Daze for a second here. When I listen to it, I really get a feel of real, true R&B music. Was it intentional for you to have an R&B sound for the EP?
Yeah, I wanted to stick to my roots. Growing up in my household, there was a lot of music played, mostly R&B music. My dad, he had a record player in the living room, and he has tons of records. So we used to hear all kinds of things from Luther Vandross to Gladys Knight to Patti LaBelle to Peebo Bryson, Temptations. My mom loved gospel music, so Donnie McClurkin, Yolanda Adams, Kurt Franklin. All of those influences is what I grew up around, so that's what I wanted to stick to, and that's what I like.
Oh, well, that's definitely cool for you, because I didn't get a chance to listen to all of those people growing up. Just saying, grew up very Christian-y, so good job on that part. Now, one of the things I listened to for the first time when I listen to music is the arrangements. I think you're a great vocalist, and I think your arrangements stuck out on your EP. Every single song, you guys, has a part on it that I really, really like. If it's not a run, it's a harmony, it's some type of stack, it's something that's really great. So I know you said that you listen to different people like Luther Vandross and your dad played music, but who would you say greatly influenced you vocally as far as your inspiration for your arrangements for your EP?
Well, first of all, shout out to my parents for the amazing music they exposed me to. Mm-hmm. As the years went along, that was their era. So my era growing up, I heard a lot of Destiny's Child. Of course, you see my shirt.
And y'all already know.
Yeah, Beyonce is my number one influence growing up. She has just always had that it factor. She's a well-rounded artist, and from everything from vocally to stage production, stage presence, the messages in her songs, that's something that I would want to embody. And so Beyonce is my number one influence, but I also love Jasmine Sullivan. She is one of my absolute favorites. Alicia Keys is also my favorite, and Fantasia, just to name a few.
So you like some real vocalists. Okay.
Gotta know how to sing.
Gotta know how to sing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's get into this track listing. Well, first of all, I want to talk about the title Summer Daze. I'm always really intrigued by titles of different projects. When I think about Summer Daze, I think about a summer day where I'm either chilling with my boo, having some good food, chilling with my friends or family, or maybe on some nice herb, What would you say would be the influence behind Summer Daze being the title for your EP?
Well, Summer Daze came about because...
Summer Daze. I said breeze, y'all. Okay. Summer Daze.
Summer Daze came about because I originally started the project in August, I believe August of 2016.
Okay.
I'm born in August. My birthday is August 19th. So, you know, summertime is just that time of year for me. So that's when I really got back into music seriously, and started it from there. That was my first song. I started August of 2016. My very last song, I got that completed in August of 2018. So it just came full circle, and I decided Summer Daze, and I had to put my songs in order to see what story they told.
Okay.
And the concept came about as if, let's say, to set the scene is, let's say you go into somewhere in Miami for a weekend during the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody fine, you know, y'all hook up for that weekend. You know, now you thinking that y'all finna be in a relationship, you know, you calling him Zaddy, and then it goes from there. Then he do something stupid, of course, or either something happens in between to where by the end of the summer, you saying goodbye, because that's the end of it. It's just like it's a summer daze. You're in a daze for just that summer. You're in a daze of love.
Days of love. So what they gonna do during the winter time when it's time to be cuffed?
It's cuffing season. They better move on to the next and find somebody else.
That's funny. So what would you say your favorite track is off of your EP?
My favorite track would have to be, well, first of all of them have a special meaning, because
Artists always say all of them have a special meaning.
that's because they all have, it's a different process that you go through with all of them. They all have a different meaning. So I believe the one that means the most to me would be my favorite, which is the very last one on my album, or I need to stop saying album, it's an EP.
Speaking into existence, we're putting out albums next.
Album, it will be coming, but for this EP, the very last one on that one is Goodbye to Us.
There's nothing left to say. I'll be just fine, just fine. I need you out of my life. I've been through this pain too many times. Can't believe the things that you've done. Time to say goodbye to
That's the very first song that I wrote by myself, completely by myself.
Okay.
So it was a track that I had from maybe 2012,
Okay.
actually 2011, that I was supposed to do a track for somebody. They gave me the song, the words were already written to it. It just wasn't my type of zhuzh.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And I was in a group during 2011. I was in a girls group at that time, Harmony's Envy.
Oh, Harmony's Envy, that's a pretty name.
Yeah, so it was a girls group, 3 of us. We had a little Destiny's Child situation going on. One of my best friends is in there with me as well, Kayla. Shout out to Kayla C.
Shout out to Kayla C.
Yes, and
Happy birthday, dear Michael. Happy birthday to you.
So I was like, you know, to get us started, we need an original song. This one has a pop feel to it. It's universal. And I just wrote what the current college girl would write about, a breakup, somebody going through a breakup, but it had a catchy feel to it.
Okay.
So I started writing it, got the first verse down, got the chorus down, but it just I never went back to it from then. So I picked back up on it probably in 2015. I went and recorded it, and yeah.
Okay.
I finished, I re-recorded it for the EP, and yeah.
Okay.
That's one of my favorites.
Well, I want to say definitely that's one thing I would like to hear. I'm proud of you for actually going back to it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, there's a message in that. You started this in 2011. That means that you had to keep going until you saw your dreams come to life.
Yes.
So keep going, keep moving. I'm proud of you for that.
And also, Solange, she had like the same experience.
Okay. Oh yeah, with Cranes in the Sky.
Yeah, Cranes in the Sky.
Mhm.
She did it. She wrote it in 2008, and when she put out A Seat at the Table,
Mm-hmm.
biggest song off the album.
Yep.
So,
Grammy song too.
yeah,
I think she
you
won
just-
Grammy for best R&B performance, I think, for that song.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, so-
So you just have to can't let it just die.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye to Us is actually my second favorite track off of the EP, and I like it because it sounds so different compared to the rest of the tracks. And I always say, if you have a project that you're putting out, your last track should make you want to start the whole track all over, or the whole EP all over again, and that's what yours did. Now, with it having more of a pop type of sound to it, do you want to put out more records like that as well? I know the EP had more of a traditional R&B sound, but do you want to, experiment a little bit with your sound?
Yeah, I would like to. I did that one. That was the first one, and then I was like, I want to go to my roots of R&B, but I would like to do more pop. Growing up with also like way elementary school. Growing up, I went to very diverse schools. Mandarin Oaks Elementary School, Lavillo School of the Arts.
You next.
Yes, and so it was a very mixed and diverse crowd. So I was introduced to all types of music. Even before I went to Lavillo, I was a huge Britney Spears fan.
So was I.
Like, you couldn't tell me anything about Britney. Britney was the it girl. There was no topping Britney. So she was my it girl for pop. Christina Aguilera was huge at that time too. By the time I got to Lavillo, I was introduced to all types of bands. Who were they? Panic at the Disco. They were my favorite in middle school. Yes, my absolute favorite.
Oh, that's interesting.
Loved Panic at the Disco. Then we had Yellow Card and Maroon 5, of course. Adam is great. And yeah, so I would definitely like Ariana Grande is my new favorite
I love
in this pop industry. And I think Ariana is going to be able to take it to the top.
I feel you on that, and I keep telling everybody that too. Ariana's one of those people you got to watch out for.
She's on her way.
Yeah, she's going to be one of those icons for the next generation. So one thing I wanted to talk about was the sound of the music for your EP. They were kind of slower tracks. I would say probably about 80% of them had a slower feel to it. Was that intentional? Is that something that you want to translate to be your type of sound, or was it just something that kind of happened?
It wasn't. I wouldn't say it's intentional, because I wanted to have more upbeat songs. That's when people hear a beat, the beat popping, the song popping.
Right.
They're gonna listen to the beat before they listen to the words and the message. So I wanted more upbeat songs on my EP.
Okay.
But I'm a ballad type of girl. I like ballads. I like love songs. So I wanted this EP to be me, authentically me, so people can get a feel of who I am and what I like. So I went towards more ballads. I really modeled this EP after one of my favorites, Alicia Keys. If you listen to Alicia Keys' album, you're not going to hear many upbeat, fast songs. She's going to have ballads, piano, this love songs, amazing vocals, inspiring words.
Right.
So that's what I wanted to go for with this EP.
Okay, and that's cool. I like Alicia. And I think she's a good artist that you can kind of blueprint yourself out there. So I think that works really well. I would like to shout out my brother Y Angel. He's one part of We Be Untitled. When we were listening to your project for the first time, the song that actually stuck out to him the most was "Woman I Am," surprisingly.
So many sacrifices, even packed my bags and moved my life to play the wife. I admit it felt right, thought we'd be moving to the next phase in time, but for some reason I was your little secret. I could tell something's going on, so I addressed the elephant in the room. Do you love me? You said no. Cashed out your
He liked that song the most because he liked the way your voice sounded on a piano ballad. Was that song always intended to be an interlude?
No, the song is actually a full song. It's all written, 1-2 verses, a bridge and everything. That particular song is not something that I would gravitate to because of how low the register is.
Okay.
I'm naturally a first soprano, second soprano. I can do alto, but once we start getting to a certain point, it's not gonna sound how it should sound or how you would like it. It wouldn't sound how you would like it to sound.
Okay.
So we recorded the full song. I was not pleased with what I heard. So I was like, I did the best I could in my lower register, but I was like, we're just gonna cut it into an interlude.
Okay.
The first verse and the chorus was really nice. I really wanted the people to get the story of Woman I Am and to hear the vocals and everything in it, but no, it wasn't intentional.
It wasn't intentional. Oh, and that's cool because it sounds like I would never notice that just listening to it. Mm-hmm. I just thought I'd ask because I always wonder with interludes if when artists go into the studio, do they really intend to just make a shorter song or if it just kind of naturally happens?
I would think sometimes it just happens that way. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Now let's talk about some of the features that you have on your EP. You have 3 features. You have Mr. Talk About It, you have Tilt, and you also have Boat Sims. Talk about your experience with them in the studio and what that was like.
Experience in the studio working with other artists is always fun. They bring a different type of energy from what you're used to. So it was really fun working with them. Boat Sims, I actually known him since high school. So he was gracious enough to actually send me the track within like a week.
Okay.
That was the very last record I finished on the EP.
Okay.
And I needed to get him on the track. I was like, yo, we ain't gonna have time to meet up in the studio. So he was gracious enough to send me his vocals and everything. Okay. So that worked out great. Working with Tilt, Tilt actually helped me with most of my project. Okay. So it was easy, natural working with him in the studio. I've known him for years as well. And Mr. Talk About It, I actually met him through social media. Okay. He was looking for an R&B female artist to hop on one of his tracks. So, somebody tagged me in it. I hit him up. He's so happy to go to high school with my sister. Okay. And yeah, that studio experience was really fun. He's real cool, down to earth. So shout out to everybody and thank y'all so much for being a part of my EP. I definitely appreciate all of you.
Oh, that's really sweet. And just to give you guys a little backstory, I actually was in the studio with Deidra when she recorded maybe 4 to 7 songs. And for me, I know where I want to go with Toni Approved. I want to move into some more musical things on my side. And I feel like that was very influential to actually get a chance to see what it's like to be in the studio, to see real artists recording, working with real producers, putting music together. So I'm definitely thankful for that experience. Speaking of Tilt, he is on actually my favorite track on the EP, Ready.
The time is right, so I gotta tell you now. Oh, forever, never felt better. So I hope that you're ready. 'Cause I'm ready for this me and you. Oh, I'm so ready.
This particular track, I love songs that are nice and slow, that gives me that whole riding around the streets at 8 p.m. at night with your windows down, nice little breeze. Can you talk to me a little bit about how that song came together?
Well, that song, again, Tilt, his name is Toni Daniels. He goes by Tilt. But he actually helped me with the most of my project. So that song was originally for him, something he had tucked away for him. Okay. He was working with a producer who also produced a couple of tracks on my EP, Corey Lean. Okay. So him and Corey were in the process of working on that song. He had the first verse down and he knew that he wanted it to be a duet. Okay. But he just never, he never went back to it. So, he let me hear it and I'm like, yo. When I heard it the first time, ballads are my go-to. Right. So I heard it and I immediately thought, when he said I want this to be a duet, I immediately heard or thought of Jordan Sparks and Chris Brown, No Air. Okay. So I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be nice. Like a revamped version, modern version of that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we went in the studio and we laid it down and it came out beautiful. That's actually a favorite among many people who's listened to the EP. Like,
okay. Many people. Got a little good here, just want to throw it out there. Okay, so what would you say your main goal was for this EP?
Honestly, I can say my main goal was just to get it out. It was a long process. It started in 2016, finished in 2018. So 2 years, it's really tough trying to be a new artist, being in the studio and working a 9 to 5 and trying to still have time to yourself just to stay sane. So I just wanted to get it out. When I was done, I just wanted to get it out If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I just needed to put it out and let people be the judge of the project. And whatever comes to me, comes to me. As long as I'm internally satisfied with my project, that was my end goal.
Okay. And I like the fact that you put your project out, because I feel like now that one of the main things that I think is a benefit for you is the fact that now you have music on a platform that no matter where you go, because I know you go to a lot of concerts, you run into a lot of different people, you can always have them go to your music. And everyone I've let hear your music is really, they're blown away. So you're going to go really far, but I'm really proud of that. If you had to pick, now shout out to all of the features that's on your EP, but if you got the opportunity to actually have some mainstream artists on your EP, who would you have featured on it? And you don't have to choose just one. You can choose a couple artists if you like.
It's a couple. I appreciate everybody who's on my EP. If I were able to have someone from the industry to get on those tracks with me, I would say with Ready, I would hands down go for Usher.
Okay.
Usher is my favorite male artist in the industry. Loved Usher for years. Vocally, he's amazing. Like, he can do all kinds of stuff with his voice. And him and Tilt's voice are quite similar to me. So Usher would have been my go-to for Ready. For Woman I Am, I don't even want that song. I really wrote that song for Jasmine Sullivan.
Jasmine Sullivan.
I hear her doing all kinds of things with that song. Like, with just the piano, what she can do, I know that she will make it exactly what I hear. She would make my vision. So that song is absolutely for her.
Okay.
So Jasmine, please check out that song.
Jasmine. And I know you got them alto tenor ranges, because you have range, so she can do a really great job with that song.
Yeah, so those would be my top picks.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I want to ask you this. With you putting out your project and everything being finished, what would you say your biggest lesson was that you took away from this experience? And what advice would you give to any up-and-coming artists who are trying to put out music and haven't gotten to the place where they're actually able to put their music on a platform, music streaming platform?
That's a good question. I would say first, my biggest lesson that I learned is to you can compromise with people, but don't settle. You have to always put your foot down. I learned that from Beyonce. Like, just watching her, how she works and how she navigates. People can give their opinions, but at the end, you have the last say so. So don't ever just try to come off as just being nice. You also have to be stern. So that's my biggest lesson with doing this project. My advice for new artists, few nuggets.
Okay.
I would say, number one, make sure you take your time. You never want to rush your project. It's yours. So if you set a date to when it's supposed to be released, you can always push that date back. You have the power to do that. You want to make sure you take your time and make sure that you give a great first impression to your viewers, to your audience, because first impressions are everything, and you want that person to listen to your first single or your EP and be like, that sound pretty good. I'm going to check them out and see what else they do in the future. So number one, take your time. Number two, make sure you do your research. Doing research is very important. Know what you're getting yourself into. Know who you're working with. Know how much time it's going to take. Know how much money it's going to take. So you want to just make sure you be prepared. And lastly, number three, I would say have fun with it. The project would be so much more of what you want, and people will receive it more if you're authentic and you're just being original and you have fun. So that would be the advice.
Okay, and that's some advice that I want to apply for myself too as I'm going forward with Toni Approved. Deidra, I want to take the time to say thank you so much for stopping by, for allowing me to interview you for this. I took some nuggets from this interview. It is really difficult, you guys, to chase your dreams while you're trying to be an adult and work a 9 to 5. You might have kids, you might have other different responsibilities, but all you have to do is just keep moving, keep pushing forward, keep trying. That's what I'm going to try to do. That's what I hope you continue to try to do. Your music is absolutely incredible, and the world needs to hear you. So definitely keep moving forward. You never know who you're inspiring.
Thank you so much, and thank you for allowing me to be here. I
No
appreciate it.
problem, no problem. Okay, you guys, until next time, God bless. And remember, you was watching Toni Approved. If you really enjoyed this interview, make sure you like and you share it everywhere that you can. Please make sure you like and subscribe to my page so you can see any of these, any more upcoming interviews I have. Deidra, thank you so much for being my first artist that I've interviewed. Please make sure to stream Deidra's new EP, Summer Daze, on all of your streaming platforms, including Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music, and it is on iTunes. Make sure you guys support, okay? And any up-and-coming artists that are in Jacksonville, if you would like to be on Toni Approved and would like to have an interview, definitely give me a shout out or give me a connection. I actually go to a lot of different stuff around town, so if you see me and I'm like, hey, come on and join Toni Approved for an interview, just be on the lookout for me to come and talk to you guys. So make sure you guys check out those links that are in the description for Deidra's EP, Deidra's social media, as well as my social media as well. Make sure you guys are like and following for everything Toni Approved that we have coming up. So until next time, you guys, God bless. Okay, good job. Got through it. Was it? How long was that?